Hey there. If you just come from my other video, you'll know just how integral hobbies are to me and my personality, and I'm going to talk about how I think social media changes people's perception of hobbies, especially like quite recently with like colouring TikTok and book talk. And if you haven't gone and seen my other video, what are you doing? Go watch that. And then come back here, obviously. No pressure, but I would. Um, and so I think if you're like me, if you're on this side of the internet, you've seen all these like quite childlike colouring books, or like not childlike but quite simple, and they're promoted to adults, and I've seen videos of people with like stacks of them and everyone has like the specific markers, the ohuhu markers, and I think it's quite damaging to show that you can only be doing that hobby if you've spent a bunch of money and you've got all the same things as other people. And I think hobbies sort of feel performative now. I think we've also seen that with reading, where like the purchasing of books, specifically physical books, has risen a lot, but literacy rates are declining. And I'm wondering, are people actually reading, or is it just a performance? Because I see on TikTok videos of people being like, I have hundreds of books in my TBR, so I'm going on a book buying ban. But actually it's not a proper ban, because I'm still going to buy like a book a month. I'm like, that's still 12 books a year. That's still around £120. So like, they're making it a status symbol, like how like at school you were seen as trendy if you say had branded shoes or like, I don't know, a cool top. But now it's within hobbies, and I think it's quite damaging in a way. Like, if you're starting out colouring, you can find a colouring book you had from years ago. You could find one in a charity shop. You could buy one good colouring book and have a few pens. You don't need 360 pens. You don't need a whole collection. Like, you'll get the same enjoyment from a simple thing. Then say if you really like that hobby, you're really invested in it, and you feel like it's worth it for you to spend money, go for it. Enjoy that. But I think what social media is doing, and remember this is just my opinion, but I think it's sort of like blocking off, like, I know, making it very inaccessible for beginners starting out with a hobby to get into it. And that really shouldn't be the case. And sorry, I have a slight cold. I've been seeing like on Journal Talk, people showing the Louise Carmen books or Paper Republic. And if you don't know, they're these leather-bound journals that cost between like 120 to 300 pounds. Sorry, that is ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but who is spending 300 pounds on a journal? And I know that a lot of people, as a substitute, have been showing the baking, the like making their own version, but that's still really expensive. They're still spending like maybe 20-30 pounds on the leather. They're still buying moleskin notebooks to go into it. They're easily spending like 70 pounds. And just go to TK Maxx, buy a notebook for £5, even less, and just start writing. Like, I don't know, it just is kind of sad. And then I see videos of journal ecosystems where they're like, I have 10 different notebooks. This one's a commonplace notebook. This one I scrapbook in. This one I do this. This one I do that. No. I have one notebook and it has everything in it. It has lots of writing, me figuring stuff out. It has collage pages, postcards, whatever. Maybe get one more, which is like a planner, which I have like just with a calendar in it, and I just have daily to-dos in that. But I just think there gets a point where it's just excessive. And again, with the thing of being performative, I find that like hobbies now are more about collecting things than actually using them or doing the hobby, if that makes sense. So like with fibre arts and knitting, crochet, it's all about your collection of yarn. And then with books, it's all about your collection of books, how many books you can read, how quickly you can read them. And then running, it's, do you have all the gels, do you have the vest, do you have the running plans? I just don't think that's necessary. And then I see all these collectibles, like I'm sure you've seen Labubus and Smiskies, the Sylvanian families. I'm probably missing some of the like basic ones. Oh, Sonny Angels, that's it. Sonny Angels is a big one. So they're all blind boxes, and people, I love blind boxes. Like, you get so much thrill opening them, like that little bit of dopamine. I get why people like them, but I just don't think it feels unique. Like, now you're only like cool collecting things if you've got those specific collectibles that everyone else has. And are you really going to spend hundreds of pounds on blind boxes, which just seems silly? What, so you could put them on your shelf? Like, for what? And then they're going to go out of fashion in a few months and you're going to be stuck with all this plastic. How is that good for the environment, your like financial state, anything? Like, I think people are spending above their means within hobbies, at least online from what I've seen. And like, I love it when people have collections. I think collections are so fun. Like a few, like in the Victorian era, they'd have what they call curiosity cabinets, which is like a little cabinet of all the things that you love and collect, and you'd have this on display for when people come over, and it shows part of your personality. And I think that's really cool, but make it unique. Like, I have a friend who collects Sonic figures. They're really into Sonic, so for them that's really fun. They've got a whole wall of them, and that's cool. And like, maybe you collect sea glass, shells, or I don't know, like, it's fine to collect something that you're really passionate about, but you don't need to collect the same few blind boxes that everyone else has. And also, if you do like them and find them cute, why don't you just buy one or two? Why do we need to see hauls of 100 blind boxes that's easily £1,000? Like, no, you don't. And it's the same with clothes. Like, why can't you go to a charity shop and find things that you know you really like and match your style? Like, I don't know. And I think book talk is a really big one, is that people buy multiples of the same book just because they like the covers and they collect them. I saw a video of someone who had a stack of Fourth Wing, like different editions of that, and it was almost as tall as her. That is excessive. Okay, if it's your favourite book, maybe you have like 2 or 3 editions, fine. But a whole stack that big is like insane work. Like, it's ridiculous. I would go to like, you can go to like pawn shops like CEX, which sells like old computers and things, and you could get a second-hand Kindle for maybe £20 or £30, and then just download all your books onto your Kindle. Or, even more accessible, why don't you get a library card? What is stopping you from getting a library card? Because the whole point of reading is to read. It's not to have a collection of pretty books on your bookshelf. And like, I have a few pretty books on my bookshelf. I like them, but only the ones that I actually really like, and I have those on display. And the rest I don't care about. I have like maybe 10 nice books on my shelf, and then the rest I can have any editions. Most of them are like £1 or £2 in a charity shop. Like, why are we promoting this? Why are we promoting so much stuff? I just, like, go have fun, go explore a hobby cheaply to begin with. If you want to invest, once you've shown yourself you can commit to it, fine, but we don't need a whole performance. We're not peacocks. We don't need this whole elaborate thing, okay? Go have fun, okay? Please. Okay, I think that's enough ranting for now. Let me just check. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. If you don't like these sort of rants, don't watch my videos, but I hope you did enjoy that. I hope it was like slightly inspiring. Maybe it's some thoughts you've been thinking about but you didn't know how to put them into words, but whatever. I hope you liked it.